Hi everybody, Keren here from tuppencecoloured.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today I am taking part in the Pootlers Designer Series paper video hop. Once you've watched my video, if you want to check out the description box below, there will be more inspiration from the rest of the team. So this is my contribution to the hop. I have made this rather sweet little zigzag card. If I take off the belly band and open it up, you can see that it opens up in a rather unique way. So stay with me, I'll show you how I made it. So here are my supplies for my zigzag card. I've got two pieces of Night of Navy that I've cut to 4 inches by 8 inches. And I'm going to be using Garden Impressions DSP. Now this is a 6 by 6 inch stack, and I've got 3 pieces that I've cut to 3 3/4 of an inch square. Piece of Whisper White, that is 3 1/2 inches square, and I've got some leftover scraps of my Designer Series paper and some card. I've got some So Saffron and some Night of Navy and possibly some Melon Mambo. So that's what I'm going to be using to make my card. So to decorate my card, I've got my Daisy Designs stamps, and I have Night of Navy ink and So Saffron ink. I've got my Starburst punch and my Daisy punch, and 2 circle punches, 1 1/2 inches and 1 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to begin by scoring my Night of Navy card at the 4-inch mark on the long side, and now I'm going to take my card and I'm going to line it up with one of the channels in my scoring board, and I'm going to score from corner to corner. So I'm going from the top outside to the middle. And let's show you that again on this piece. I've already scored that one at 4 inches. So just lining it up and going from the top outside to the middle. So top left to bottom middle. And both of my pieces are the same. I'm going to burnish those folds now so that they are nice and crisp. So giving those a good rub over with my bone folder. To make sure that my 2 pieces of card fit together properly, I'm just going to cut a sliver, just the tiniest little piece, off one edge of the card that's going to fit on the inside. So I'm just trimming that piece away with my craft knife, and there we are. And now those 2 pieces fit together smoothly, so I'm going to take my liquid adhesive and I'm just going to put my glue onto the back of my card, and I'm just going to line them up properly, and there you go, there is my card assembled. And here is the piece that's going to be the mat on the inside of the card when you open it up. So I'm just giving that a little bit of my liquid adhesive, and of course you could use tape or a tape runner for this. I happen to like using liquid adhesive because it does give me that little bit of wiggle room. So I'm just adjusting the paper to make sure that it's centered onto my card, and there you go. So next thing I'm going to do is to trim down my pieces of DSP. So I've just lined them up on my cutting mat, and I'm just cutting them in half diagonally, and a little bit of my trusty liquid adhesive onto the back of the paper, and I'm just going to repeat that for the other piece. And I'm going to do the same thing for this piece that's going to go onto the inside. Now these papers aren't particularly directional, but if you are using a paper that's got a definite up and down, you might want to make sure that you're slicing your paper in the right direction, because otherwise you'll be a bit cross when you try to put it all together and it doesn't work. So again, with my trusty liquid adhesive. I don't know why I call it that. And last panel. Okay, and that is my card covered. I want to close my card up with a belly band, and I've got a piece of Night of Navy which I've cut to about 1.25 inches, and 2 pieces of my DSP which are offcuts from the piece I cut down for the 3 3/4 inch square, and I've just trimmed those to 1 inch, and I'm just gluing them on to my Night of Navy piece. And that's just a piece that I've cut off of the width of A4, so it's just about 1 inch and 8¼ inches long, and I'm just covering it with my 2 pieces of DSP, and the join is going to be at the back, so nobody's really going to notice, and the bit at the end where you can see that Night of Navy, that's going to be covered, so that is going to be my belly band, and it's going to go around my card just like this. I'm just checking here to make sure that it fits properly, and it does. I want 3 copies of the daisy, so I've got my my stamp on my ink pad, and I'm making sure that 2 of my petals are straight up and straight down, and that's going to be important because that will help me punch. So bit of saffron ink and press it down firmly. So that's 1, that's 2, and my 3rd one. So now I'm going to come in with my daisy punch, and I'm just going to punch out those three flowers. And because I've got my petals going straight up and down, it's easy for me to get the punch into where I want it. And there are my 3 daisies. I have a 1½ inch circle punch and Night of Navy card. Just punched out a circle there, and I'm just going to put a little bit of my liquid adhesive on the back of the belly band. Just cover up the glue there, and I'm just going to stick the ends of the belly band onto that Night of Navy card, and just press that down firmly to make sure that the adhesive has stuck. And I'm just bringing back the card and just checking it for fit, because I don't want it to be so tight that I can't slip it over, and that looks to be just about right. I'm ready to do a bit of stamping now for my sentiment inside my card, and I have my Night of Navy ink and my sentiment mounted up on my clear block, and just inking up my stamp well. Take a little bit of care where I'm lining it up. Now, because I've got a photopolymer stamp, I've got a silicone mat underneath, and I'm giving that ink a few seconds to transfer into the card, and I'm pretty pleased with that result. So I'm just going to clean up my stamp with my Simply Chamois. So now I'm going to put my sentiment into the inside of my card. Just clean up my ink bottle a little bit of my favourite liquid adhesive. And again, just going to make sure that that is opening up the way that I want it to, because it's very, very easy to put it in upside down at this stage. And there it is. I want to shape my daisy so that they've got some dimension. So I have my flower shaping tool and a bit of stamping foam, and I am just rubbing the tool over the back of the daisies and giving the centres a little bit of a press. And with my liquid adhesive, I'm layering up the 3 punched daisies and offsetting them so I have a nice full flower. I want to start putting things together now, so I've got a little bit of my DSP and my 1 3/4 inch circle punch, and I've also got my starburst punch. I'm sorry that wasn't in shot, but I think you get the idea. So a little bit of my liquid adhesive onto the Night of Navy starburst, and a little bit of Night of Navy onto the back of the daisy. And at that point I noticed I was out of shot. So I am just putting it all together and just shaping the petals a little bit with my fingers and making sure that is centered. And that is pretty much the way I want it. Now I'm just going to stick my daisy onto the belly band. So I'm going to need a little bit of my liquid adhesive, which I'm going to put onto that disc of Night of Navy that I put in the middle of the band, and just centering that, and there it is. So I'm going to tweak the petals a little bit. I'm just pinching them between my thumb and my forefinger, and I'm going to add a little bit of bling. So these are our faceted gems, and I've got the crystal clear ones, and there we are, that's finished. And that is it. That is my finished zigzag card, and it's my contribution for the video hop. So if you've enjoyed this video, then please do go and check out the links in the description box below, and go and see what my teammates have been up to, because I know they're going to have loads of inspiration for you. And I'm just going to open that card up one last time, yeah, a nice little novelty card for to say thank you to somebody. So that is it for now, and I do hope that you've enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for joining me, and I would love it if you came back and saw me again sometime soon. But for now, bye bye.